In this video, which is part 1 in our two-part series, we will be tracing the journey of Gurbani from within the conscience of Guru Nanak all the way to Pothi Sahib. Now, the journey of Gurbani does not end with Pothi Sahib. It continues on to the Guru Granth Sahib and beyond. But in this video, which is part 1, we will trace the journey until the Pothi Sahib, and that is because this video is presented in commemoration of the first Prakash Dihada. The first Prakash Dihada is that day when the Pothi Sahib was first installed by Guru Arjan Ji in Darbar Sahib in 1604. So what I want to do is to give you the journey of Gurbani, the story of Gurbani, the narrative of the journey of the Shabad. Why is it important for a Sikh to be enlightened about this journey? Well, Gurbani is our Guru. The Shabad is our Guru. Our entire spirituality is based on it. True Sikhi, authentic Sikhi, or genuine Sikhi, if you want to call it that, is based upon Gurbani. Let's begin with the story or the sakhi that has been told to us regarding how Pothi Sahib came into being. And this is a story that the Sikh world hears in Gurdwaras whenever the first Prakash Dihada is celebrated. The sakhi has been told to the Sikh world for hundreds of years and will continue to be told. The claim is that this story or this sakhi is a historical narrative, that it contains the historical truth. The sakhi says that Guru Arjan Ji, the fifth Guru, was alerted that his elder brother Prithvi Chand and Prithvi Chand's son Meherban, both of whom claimed they were the rightful Gurus and not Guru Arjan, were composing poems and claiming it was Gurbani. So Guru Arjan decided that to stop that practice, the real, actual, authentic Gurbani be compiled into a book, namely the Pothi Sahib. The problem was that, according to the Sakhi, Guru Arjan did not have the Bani that was composed by Gurus 1 to 4. He asked his Sikhs if they knew where the Bani was, and they told him that the Bani of the first 4 Gurus was in the form of 4 Pothis, and the Pothis were with a person called Mohan. Who was this Mohan? Well, Guru Amar Das, our third Guru, had 2 sons, Mohan and Mohri, and 2 daughters, Bibi Pani and Bibi Dani. Bibi Pani ji would become the wife of the 4th Guru, Guru Ram Das ji. So, Mohan was the son of Guru Amar Das ji, and he, meaning Mohan, had somehow taken possession of all the Bani. He had it all in his possession. The Bani of Guru Nanak all the way down to Guru Ram Das, the 4th Guru. The Sakhi says that Guru Arjan Ji sent Baba Buddha to Mohan to bring the Pothis back, and Mohan refused to hand them over. Guru Arjan then sent Bhai Gurdas, who also came back empty-handed. Finally, Guru Arjan Ji went himself. Mohan refused initially, but Guru Arjan Ji managed to convince him after some effort. So in the picture, you see Mohan handing the Pothis containing the Bani of the 4 Gurus to Guru Arjan Ji. So, how did Guru Arjan convince Mohan to hand over the Pothis of Gurbani? The Sakhi says Guru Arjan sat outside Mohan's house and sang this Shabad: Mohan, tere uche mandar महल अपारा. मोहन तेरे सोहन द्वार जियो संत धर्मशाला. This Shabad can be found in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji on page 248. So, in essence, this is Gurbani. The Sakhi says Guru Arjan sang this Shabad to praise Mohan. Mohan tere uche mandar mahal apara. O Mohan, your mention mahal is so elevated, uche, so infinite, apara. Mohan tere sohan dwar jio sant dharamsala. O honorable Mohan, your doorway is so beautiful, sohan dwar jio. Your house is an abode of the saints, Sant Dharamsala. The Sakhi says that upon hearing Guru Arjan sing this Shabad in his praise, Mohan came down and handed over the Pothis containing the Gurbani of Guru Nanak till Guru Ram Das to Guru Arjan Pacha. Here are some questions that we can ask of this story or this Sakhi. First, how did Mohan get hold of the Pothis? How is it that all the gurus who wrote Bani ended up giving it to him? Guru Nanak and Guru Angad never knew of any Mohan because he did not exist in their lifetimes. So, obviously, both gurus did not or could not have given their Bani to Mohan. Take the case of the third Guru, Amar Das. His son-in-law, Ram Das ji, was the fourth Guru. Why would he, Guru Amar Das, not give his Bani to Guru Ram Das and hand it over to Mohan instead? Take the case of Guru Ram Das ji, who was the fourth Guru. Guru Ram Das was the father of Guru Arjan ji. The Sakhi says he composed and then gave all his Bani to Mohan. Why? Why didn't he give it to his own son, Guru Arjan ji? Second, and this is a disturbing question, would Guru Arjan ji compose a Shabad just to praise Mohan? Isn't this trickery, manipulation, bribery? Would a Guru resort to such tactics to get something he wanted? Third, if the Shabad was for Mohan, son of Guru Amar Das, then why are we reading it? How and why is it Gurbani? If it is written in the praise of one man, what has Mohan's house and its grandeur got to do with me or you or any Sikh? So, this is the Shabad that Guru Arjan ji sang, as claimed by the Sakhi. Mohan tere uche mandar mahal apara. Mohan tere son dwar jio sant dharamsala. The next question we can ask is, what is the meaning of the word Mohan in the Shabad? Does it refer to Mohan, son of Guru Amar Das? Now, the word Mohan is used 97 times in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji by other Gurus, Guru Nanak till Guru Ram Das Ji. And they were not referring to Mohan, son of Guru Amar Das. Now, Bhai Gurdas has a body in his 33rd Var in which he talks about the children of Gurus Nanak, Angad and Amar Das. I call this the body of detractors. It is a narrative of the rebels. It is a narrative of those children of the Gurus who went against Sikhi and against the Gurus. Here, Bhai Gurdas starts with Guru Nanak's two children. बाल जति है श्री चंद बाबाना देहरा banaya, meaning Sri Chanda set up his own religion. The reference is to the Udasi cult that Sri Chanda started. Bhai Gurdas then says, Lakshmi Daso Dharma Chanda पोता होए के आप गणाया मंजी दास बहालिया दाता से दासन सिखाया meaning Lakshmi Das too installed himself as the leader of his own religion or his own movement. In the same body, Bhai Gurdas then moves to the children of Guru Amardas. This is what he says, the verse in the colored box on the screen. Mohana Kamala Hoya Chaubara Mohori Manaya. Mohan is being declared Kamala, mad, crazy, out of his mind. Mohori, his brother, collaborated with him, put him on a pedestal. Mohan Kamala Hoya Chaubara Mohori Manaya. How did a Kamala get the Pothis? How did a Kamala get mentioned or get praised in Gurbani? Why would Guru Arjan Ji write a Shabad to praise a Kamala? Bhai Gurdas provides his conclusion pertaining to these children of the Gurus who were detractors, who rebelled, and who acted against the Gurus and against Sikhi. The conclusion is in this final verse. Chandan Vasa Na Vas Bohaya, meaning these were people who never got the essence of Bani. So how could any one of them, Mohan in this case, have been in possession of the Pothis? Why were all the Gurus writing Bani and passing it on to this Kamala, to this crazy person, to this madman, according to Bhai Gurdas? Mohan Kamala Hoya Chaubara Mohri Manaya. What about the fact that Mohan was born in 1534 AD and died in 1581 AD at age 47? The Pothi Sahib was compiled in 1604 AD, 23 years after Mohan's death. So when was there time for Guru Arjan Ji to go to him to get the Pothis? So if we put all our questions together and we provide honest answers to these questions and consider the fact relating to Mohan's date of birth and death, the conclusion we reach is that this story or sakhi is fake. It is untrue. It is concocted. The key words here are honest answers, not wishy-washy answers such as, oh, well, if the four gurus handed over their Bani to a Kamala, they are the best persons to know why. Not hogwash answers such as, well, if the Guru decides to compose a Shabad in praise of a crazy Kamala person, then he, Guru, would have his own reasons. Who are we to question the Guru's decision? If we decide to provide and accept such hodgepodge nonsense, then two outcomes are inevitable. One, we will end up pouring scorn on our Gurus, painting them as unreasonable beings. And two, we will never get to the truth of the matter. So, if the Mohan Sakhi or the Mohan story is fake, then what is the real journey of Gurbani? The journey of Gurbani Pyareo begins with Guru Nanak in this set of verses. Tilanga Mahalla Pehla, Jaisi मैं आवे कसम की बाणी तैसड़ा करी ज्ञान वे लालो. These verses are composed by Guru Nanak and are found on page 722 of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, meaning, O Sikhs, वे लालो, as the divine connecting Bani, Kasam ki Bani, comes within me, I narrate its enlightenment to you. Taisada kari gyan. exactly as it emanates from within me, jaisi main aave. The underlined words are important, jaisi and tasada, just as, exactly as. So the question now is, how did the Bani come to Guru Nanak? Where did it come from? We have been told through another Sakhi that Guru Nanak disappeared in a river at age 33. People spent 3 days looking for him. When he came out, he was enlightened and started uttering Shabad and reciting Gurbani. For the 3 days that he was not found, according to the Sakhi, Guru Nanak had gone to get his mandate and his money from God. That's the story as written by unknown persons, people who have neither read nor understood Gurbani. Again, if we accept this story, we have some questions. First, the God of Guru Nanak is not sitting out there, up there somewhere. Certainly not beneath the waters of a river, that Guru Nanak had to go to him. The divine of Guru Nanak, the creator that Guru Nanak talks about, is the creator, is the divine within us. Second, if we accept the Sakhi that he disappeared in the river at age 33 and then started uttering Bani after that, then what happens to all the Bani he wrote before age 33? For example, when he was 11 years of age, the Pandit came to put the Janeu on him, the sacred thread. He dialogued with the Pandit and he uttered Bani. His verses are Daya Kapa Santok Sot Jat Gandi Sat Wat E Janeu Ji Ka Hai Ta Pande Kat. This is Bani uttered before he was 33. So, what do we do with this kind of Bani that Guru Nanak composed before he was 33, before he disappeared in the river, before he got his mandate at age 33, before he became enlightened? Are we going to say that all the Bani that was composed before age 33 was composed without a divine mandate and without enlightenment? The point is that these Sakhis don't make sense when we put them to the test of Gurbani. They fail miserably when measured against the benchmark of Gurbani. The truth of the matter is that each and every Shabad of Gurbani came out from the inner depths of Guru Nanak's conscience. Every Shabad is a narrative of his experience of walking the journey of spirituality, his experience of realizing the divine within. This verse on your screen is Gurbani, written by Guru Nanak himself. Nanak Gaya Jape Jai, meaning, Nanak, my realization of the Creator within me has come about by walking this path. That's the meaning of the word Gaya. It means by walking, by traveling, by traversing. Guru Nanak is himself saying that he came to the conclusion by walking the journey himself. And he is telling us to walk the journey of the Shabad, the journey of Gurbani. He got this message across to us through his Bani by writing it out and passing it down to us. In the same Bani, Japa, Guru Nanak says, Vekha Vigsa Kar Vichar, meaning, I have walked the path upon evaluation and contemplation within. The meaning of the phrase contemplation within is within my own mind, within my conscience, within the mind and conscience of Guru Nanak in this case. So, the model of Guru Nanak Sikhi for us is this: the way that I prescribe Sikhi to you is the way I discovered, the way I walked the path. And if Guru Nanak got his enlightenment by way of disappearing in the Waying River for 3 days, then he should tell us to do the same. But he didn't, and he hasn't, because he himself hadn't. That was not his way. So, what was his way? His way is the Gurbani way, the Shabad way. So, let's go back to what we said was the starting point of the journey of Gurbani. We said that the journey of Gurbani begins with Guru Nanak, Tilanga Mahalla Pehla, Jaisi मैं आवे खसम की बाणी तैसड़ा करी गयान वे लालो. O six, वे लालो, as the divine connecting Bani, Khasam ki Bani, comes within me, I narrate its enlightenment to you, Tasra Kari Gyan, exactly as it emanates from within me, Jaisi, Main Aave. Let's try to break this down to increase our understanding. We can break it down into four simple aspects. The first component is I walked the path of spiritual discovery. Second, this Bani has come from within me through that walking. Nanak gaya jape jaye and vikhe vikse kar vichar. Third, my beloved Sikhs, I am asking you to walk the same path. Fourth, I am giving you the same Bani, word for word, exactly as is. Now, let's look at how Guru Nanak executed these four things. Let's look at how Guru Nanak executed his responsibility and go down Guru to see the continuity of that responsibility. First, Guru Nanak wrote everything down. Now, this applies to all the other gurus who wrote Bani. They all used the medium of written messaging and not the oral tradition. Guru Nanak had a Pothi, a book, in which he personally recorded his Bani. How do we know that? Bhai Gurdas writes in Pauri 32 of his first war, Baba फिर मके गया नील बस्तर धार बनवारी आसा हथ किताब कछ kunja bag musalla tari. Kitab Kach means a book in personal possession. You may ask a question here. Whose book, whose kitab was he carrying? Yes, you can argue that when he went to the Middle East, Makkah, Medina, Baghdad, etc., he dressed like them. So he may have carried their holy book with him. We will get the answer as soon as we get some details of the meeting he had with his audience. The verses that follow are Puchan gal iman di kaji mullah ikatthe hoi, meaning the Qazis and the mullahs came to him, gathered around him. Puchan fol kitab no vadda Hindu ke Musalmanoi. And they asked Puchan, research into your book, fol kitab no, and tell us who is better, the Hindu or the Musalman? Hindu vadda ke Musalmanoi. If it was their book, the book of the mullahs or that of the Qazis, they would not be asking Guru Nanak for the answer, would they? They would already have known it. Then Guru Nanak replies, Baba आखे हाजियां शुभ अमला बाजों dono roi, meaning when it comes to good deeds, divine deeds, both are lacking. Then he says, Hindu Musalman doe dargah andar land not oi. Dargah andar within their inner selves, within their conscience, within their minds, there is no congruence. Why? Because the conscience says A, the mind thinks B, and the senses do C. And then Guru Nanak says, Kacha rang kusam ka pani to te thir na rahoi, meaning without divine deeds and without congruence within their inner selves, the religious fervor of both the Hindus and Muslims is temporary. So now we can ask the question, where or in which book is this entire discourse of divine deeds, of inner congruence, and the mind and conscience, where is it contained? There is only one answer. All of this is coming from within Gurbani. There was no Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji at that time, no Pothi Sahib even. The only Pothi, the only book Guru Nanak had was one in which he wrote his own Bani. The answers came from the book that contained the Bani of Guru Nanak. The answers came from within Gurbani. Their books did not even have the question, let alone the answer. If this question and answer was in their book, they would never be asking Guru Nanak about it. So they were telling Guru Nanak, please refer to your book and tell us what's written in your book regarding our questions. So that was the first responsibility, namely that Guru Nanak wrote everything down and that he had a Pothi with him in which he personally recorded his Bani. It may sound basic, but without this, we would never have gotten his Bani, his messages, and his advice. We would never have gotten Sikhi. The second thing is that Guru Nanak went to the Bhagats and all their ashrams and collected and recorded Bhagavad Bani in his Pothi. For Bhagats that existed before him, Farid, for instance, who existed in the region of 1173 AD, Guru Nanak went to his ashram. For the contemporary ones, he went to them in person. In any case, the responsibility is more than just going to them or to the ashrams. It was about selection. The Bhagats had enormous or voluminous writings. Not all of their writings were suitable or fit or in line with Guru Nanak's philosophy. So, selection had to be made. For instance, let's look at Kabir's writings. As you can see, he has close to 6,000 sloks and shabads, but only 224 shabads and 239 sloks are in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, meaning these were the ones selected by Guru Nanak, not by Guru Arjan, yeah, by Guru Nanak. You may ask, how did these selected compositions get delivered to Guru Arjan, the fifth Guru? Well, that was the next responsibility of Guru Nanak. But first, 2 points are worth noting. One, only the writings of Bhagats that are in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji are Gurbani. Second, the decision of what is Gurbani and what is not is made by the Guru, only the Guru, and no one else but the Guru. Not even the Panth, not the Akal Takht, not the Jathedars, and not some Panthic committee. No one other than the Guru has the authority and jurisdiction to decide and declare what is Gurbani and what is not. And if the Panth or the Akal Takht or Panjapyare or the Jathedars or anyone else has decided to include compositions from outside and then declare they are Gurbani, fit for whatever purpose, Netrem or Khande Dipal, etc., then that decision is plain wrong for the simple reason that our gurus never handed down that authority to anyone, not the Panth, not the Panch Pyare, not the Akal Takht, not the Jathedars, not any Panthak committee, not anybody. Back to Bhagat Kabir's compositions. They are found in Bijak Granth, which is kept at the headquarters of Kabir's followers, the Kabir Panthis or Dharamdasis as they are called, in Damakhera in Madhya Pradesh, India. There is another Granth of Kabir, Anurag Sagar, Ocean of Love in English. The fact remains that apart from the 224 Shabads and 239 sloks in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, none of the rest is Gurbani. So now we come to the third responsibility of Guru Nanak in ensuring that the Bani that came from within his conscience got to us Sikhs exactly as it was composed. 1539 is the year of Guru Nanak's passing. Just prior to his passing, he handed the Guruship to Guru Angad Ji. There were two detractors at that point in time, Sri Chand and Lakshmi Das, who opposed Guru Nanak's decision and stood in opposition to the decision. The outcome was that the Kartarpur ashram was given to his sons. No other Guru ever went back there again. The Bani Pothi of Guru Nanak was given to Guru Angad, and Guru Angad was sent to Khadur, which became the next center of Sikhi. The relocation of Guru Angad helped resolve the conflict with Sri Chand and Lakshmi Das, who were content with inheriting Kartarpur, inheriting all the property that was on it, and inheriting the crowds that came to Kartarpur. Guru Nanak stayed back at Kartarpur for some weeks till his demise, mainly to redirect Sikhs who came to meet him as Guru to Khadur, telling them that the Guru was now in Khadur. These facts are never told in our Katha or discourse during Gurpurabs. And that is a sad thing because it prevents us Sikhs from knowing the journey of Gurbani. So, Guru Nanak handed over his Bani Pothis to Guru Angad. 1552 is the year of Guru Angad's passing. He had decreed that the Guruship would be passed on to Guru Amar Das Ji. There were two detractors this time around, Datu and Dasu, who opposed Guru Angad's decision and stood in opposition to it. The outcome was that the Khadur Sahib ashram was given to the sons Datu and Dasu. The Bani Pothis were given to Guru Amar Das, and Guru Amar Das was sent to Govindawal, which became the next center of Sikhi. Guru Amar Das Ji's passing happened in 1574. The Guruship passed on to Guru Ram Das Ji. The detractors were Mohan and Mohri, the children of Guru Amar Das Ji. The decision was made for the Bani Pothis to be given to Guru Ram Das Ji. Guru Ram Das Ji moved to Ram Das Chak temporarily, moving back to Govindawal later. 1581 is the year of Guru Ram Das Ji's passing. The Guruship was passed on to his youngest son, Guru Arjan. The detractors were the two elder children of the fourth Guru, Prithvi Chand and Mahadev. The decision was made for Govindawal to be handed over to Prithvi Chand. The Bani Pothis were given to Guru Arjan Ji, who was sent to Lahore for 7 years. He came back to Amritsar in 1588 to build Darbar Sahib, and in 1604, Guru Arjan Ji compiled the Pothi Sahib. So, what and where is the evidence that each successive Guru had the Bani of his predecessor Guru in his personal possession. The evidence is internal. It is found within the writings of the Gurus. It is found within Gurbani, within the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. In numerous places, you will find a later Guru referencing or referring to the writing of a previous Guru or a Bhagat. Here is one example that will show you what I mean. There is a Bani that appears from page 1377 to 1384 within the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. The title of the Bani is Slok Sheikh Farid Ke. As the title suggests, it is a collection of the sloks of Bhagat Farid. The Bani contains 130 sloks, yet only 112 are actually composed by Farid. The remaining 18 sloks are composed and added on as elaborations, as clarifications, and as explanations within the same Bani by our Gurus. So, the Bani titled Slok Sheikh Farid Ke has a total of 4 sloks of Guru Nanak. They are sloks number 32, number 113, number 120, and number 124. Guru Amar Das Ji has 5 sloks, numbers 1352, 104, 122, and 123. And Guru Arjan Ji has 8 sloks, numbers 75, 82, 83, 105, 108, 109, 110, and 111. So, let me show you one example from within these sloks. Frida Kali Jini na ravya, Toli rave koe. Kar sai syo perhari, rang navela hoe. This is composed by Farid and he is using 2 metaphors, Kali meaning black and Tauli meaning white. The colors are metaphors meant to depict youth, Kali, and old age, Tauli. So the meaning of the verse is Farid, if the Creator is not realized in my youth, rarely would he be realized in old age. As such, be imbued in the love of the Lord in youth so that it will remain rekindled in old age. The slok that follows immediately is Mahalla Tija, Farida Kali Tauli Sahib Sada hai, Je ko chit kare. Apna laya per bana lagai, je locha sab koe. The meaning of which is Mahalla Tija Farid, love for the Creator is for all who yearn for it, young and old. My relationship of love with the Creator within will not exist if I yearn for all else but the divine. So Farid is not wrong. If he was wrong, his slok would never have been selected by Guru Nanak. So he is right in saying that the divine is best realized in our youth. But Guru Amar Das is providing an elaboration, a clarification, and explanation that while the divine is best realized in one's youth, old age should not be a barrier towards realizing the divine. So if the Bani is called Slok Sheikh Farid Ke and has a total of 130 sloks, of which 112 are composed by Farid, and Guru Nanak adds 4 sloks, Guru Amar Das Ji adds 5 sloks, Guru Ram Das Ji adds 1 slok, and Guru Arjan Ji adds 8 sloks. The only way they could have done the additions in the form of clarifications, elaborations, and explanations within the same Bani is because they had Farid's Bani in their possession. They had Farid's Bani right in front of them in their personal possession. How could they have added their own sloks in response to the sloks of Farid if the Bani was with Mohan. So here are some of the conclusions we can make regarding the journey of Bani from Guru Nanak to the other Gurus. First, he is Guru who has Bani in his possession. Second, he is Guru who has the Bani Pothis handed down to him. That is why Angad is Guru and Sri Chand is not. That is why Amardas Padsha is Guru and Datu and Dasu are not. Third, Bani was always in possession of the Gurus. How else could they have composed their own and kept to the principle of continuity if they did not have the Bani of their predecessor Guru with them? So here we have a summary of the responsibilities that were undertaken by the Gurus. First, to collect Bani of the Bhagats and make a selection to ensure it is in line with the thought of Guru Nanak. Second, write their own Bani. Third, pass it down from Guru to Guru. Fourth, protect its authenticity, purity, and sanctity. Fifth, prevent adulteration of any sort. And finally, to pass it down to the Sikh. One other point that is missing from our sakhis, from our sermons and narratives needs to be made. And that pertains to the role of Bani in succession of the Guruship, the role of Bani in the decision-making processes pertaining to the appointment of the succeeding Gurus. The ability to understand, internalize, realize, and become Gurbani was the primary criteria. But the Sakhis do not have a single word for this criteria. Instead, Sakhis pertaining to succession of Guruship list out a laundry list of criteria that focus on things such as blind obedience. For instance, the Sakhis tell us that Guru Nanak prepared 10 tests for Pailana in order to judge his suitability to be the second Guru. Pailana was told to carry wet, muddy bundles of weeds. On his head, he was told to shake a battery to produce food when others refused. This picture is taken from the Janam Sakhis. In one test, Guru Nanak is said to have thrown a container into some muddy water and Lana was ordered to retrieve it, dirtying his clothes in the process. He was ordered to eat a corpse that was being readied for a funeral. Nirmala Gyani Gyan Singh's work, Tawarik Guru Khalsa, lists a host of derogatory and depraved tests that Guru Nanak ordered Pai Lehna to undergo. Tests that one can only narrate in an adult crowd. Not one Sakhi talks about Lehna's ability to understand, internalize, realize, and become Gurbani. Sakhis pertaining to Guru Amardas, the third Guru, are no different. We are told that his primary test was that at age 72, he carried a container of water from the river every morning for Guru Angad to shower. The Sakhi says he walked backwards the entire journey of 12 miles or so as not to show his back to the Guru. That he slipped and fell one day, but carried on. The Sakhi tells us that he was considered fit to be the third Guru by the second because he had shown complete obedience, complete submission, and complete loyalty, unwavering faith, and devotion to the point of performing demanding labor of fetching water for 12 years at age 72. The real submission, the real faith, and the real devotion that mattered was to Gurbani, not to the person. And we don't have a single Sakhi of any Guru ever reading Bani, let alone understanding internalizing, realizing, and becoming Gurbani. So these sorts of Sakhis have done two things. First, they have obscured or worse, obliterated the journey of Gurbani by suggesting, wrongly of course, that Gurbani remained lost and scattered till the period of the fifth Guru, who had to go about pleading for its return. And that even after Pothi Sahib was compiled, the Sakhis keep telling us that Gurbani was always in the hands of anti Sikh elements. Second, these Sakhis suggest that the successors gurus were subject to the most ridiculous and unbelievable tests of blind obedience to determine their suitability for succession, and make absolutely no mention of the role of the realization of the messages within Gurbani and the ability to compose Gurbani as the critical consideration in the process of selecting and appointing successor gurus. Back to the journey of Gurbani, 1603 to 1604 is the period when Guru Arjan Ji compiled the Pothi Sahib, which had the Bani of 4 Gurus, 15 Pagats, 3 Sikhs, his own Bani, and the Bani of 10 Pats from South India. It contained 30 rags as chapters. The order of the Bani was as follows. Every chapter began with the Bani of the Gurus in order from Guru Nanak Padsha to Guru Arjan, followed by that of the Pagats. It contained a total of 5,751 Shabads on 975 handwritten pages. The Pothi Sahib was first installed by Guru Arjan Padsha in Darbar Sahib in 1604. Sikhs were instructed to make copies of it in their own hand for the purposes of reading, understanding, discoursing, and internalizing its messages. Worshipping the Pothi Sahib was never part of the Sikh's daily life. Making copies, reading, understanding, and internalizing the Bani was. The Pothi Sahib remained installed in the darbars of all subsequent Gurus. All of these darbars were outside of Amritsar in various locations. The journey of Gurbani does not end with Pothi Sahib. The 10th and final Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, will add another milestone to the journey of Gurbani in 1708. That will be covered in part 2.